So the first question today is, how did you lose your mum? Tell us the story. Well, I lost her because she died. Joking. I know that's not what the question means. How did we lose her? We lost her to cancer. I'll try and do the quick version of the story, but as you get to know me, you'll realize that that quick version is not that much quicker. I like to talk. I'm good at it. God bless me with the ability to talk and connect. So strap in, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. So basically, the story starts back when I was 14 years old, and mum got diagnosed with breast cancer when she was, I believe, 41. I think she was coming up to 42, or maybe she had just turned 41. I'm not really sure, but 41, that much I know. And we were still living in South Africa. They'd started the immigration journey, and I think we were maybe a year out from that. So, yeah, I think she turned 40, and it doesn't matter. But she got diagnosed with breast cancer, and she went through the surgeries, and she had her breast removed, and she went through the radiotherapy, and she went through the chemotherapy and the everything, everything that comes with it. And unfortunately, probably every single one of you over a certain age will know what I'm talking about to a certain degree, because unfortunately, far too many of us have experienced cancer in one way or another, whether it's directly or whether it's through someone else. And it's just a really sad but true fact. So, yeah, she went through that, and then we immigrated to New Zealand, and she was in remission. So, well, not so we thought. She was. She was in remission for about 4 years. And then when I was pregnant with my first daughter, Taylor, at age 20, almost 21, so I turned 21 3 months after Taylor was born. Taylor was born in September 2000, and mum got re-diagnosed with cancer. Now, she'd had a cough for a year, maybe longer. I can't remember if it was a year and a half, it was a year, but it was long enough anyway. And the doctors kept saying it was this and it was that and it was this and it was that. And no one seemed to think that checking her lungs for cancer was a good idea, considering, I don't know, maybe let's put two and two together and think about the fact that she had breast cancer. Look, I'm not a fucking rocket scientist, but I'm pretty sure your breasts sit where my breasts sit, and they're over your bloody lungs. Your lymph nodes are under your armpits, they're connected to your breast and around your lungs and all the rest of it. Look, not a doctor, just saying. And yes, you may have guessed, and we'll probably address this later on in the episode, but yes, that was one thing that caused me a lot of anger for many years, was why did they not get it? Why did they not think about this? Why did they not check that? I was very angry at them for a very long time. But anyway, we'll get to that later on in the episode. Anyway, she got re-diagnosed, and she decided to go through another round of chemo and stuff to prolong her life, really. It was terminal. She wasn't going to survive. We knew that. But she wanted to prolong her life because she was now going to experience the gift of being a grandparent, and she wanted to get as much of that as she could. So she did. So the next 2.5 years before she passed away was a combination of her suffering and her enjoying being a grandmother. So, yeah, she ended up being 49. She was 6 months shy of her 50th birthday when she passed away. And that, hits my heart, because I'm 46. I'm only 3 years off. I'm pretty much the same age she was. In fact, I probably am the same age. In fact, I'm not even 46 yet. I'm 45, but I'm 46 in November. Okay, what? Potato, you say it this way, I say it that way. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty much the same age she was when she got diagnosed terminally. And I just can't even wrap my head around that. Do you know what I mean? I can't wrap my head around that for either of my children or my husband. And that hits my heart, because being older now, it sort of just makes me aware of things differently. It's not so much about me anymore. I'm just aware of how that really would have affected my dad and etc. and how young mum actually was. Like, you know, I have people say to me all the time, "Oh, you're in your 40s, you're so young." And they're right. I am so young because essentially I could have another 40 plus years left of my life. I essentially could genuinely be midway through my life. And mum, like, midway through her life was in her 20s, early 20s. She was only freshly married. That's crazy. And she didn't even know. She didn't even know that she was halfway through her life then. Like, her life was only 49 years long, and we think being alive for 60 to 70 to 80 to 90 years is a short life. And yeah, it's just a bit mind blowing. But anyway, that's pretty much that. That's how she died. And that's how we lost her.